have a special request from Aman113. The question he asked was, the 25th term of an arithmetic series is 38. The sum of the first 40 terms is 1250. And he wants me to show that the common difference is 1.5. So I'm going to use a couple of formulas for this. I see on the right I wrote down my arithmetic series and formulas. But let's write down what we know. We know a 25th term, so t of 25 is 38. We know my sum of the first 40 terms, so s of 40 is 1250. And we want to try and prove that d equals 1.5. So we want to prove that. Alright, so where are we going to start? Well, the first thing I'm going to look at is using my formulas on the right. I am probably not going to use this one. I'm going to be using the other two. So let's start with my t of n formula. I want to try and figure out what the first term should be. If d is 1.5, using my t of n equals a plus n minus 1d, let's put in what we know. 25th term is 38. I don't know what my a is. Now, if we're working with the 25th term, we know that n should be 25 minus 1, and I'm going to be trying 1.5 for my d. Now, doing my math, I can figure out 38 equals a plus, the 25 minus 1 is 24. 24 times 1.5 ends up being 36. I did these ahead of time, so I wouldn't waste too much time. I'm going to subtract 36 from both sides. And end up with a equals 38 minus 36 is 2. So let's write that on our notes on the right here, on the left. Alright, so I've got an a value. I can take this. I'm going to tuck it out of the way. I'll come back to it later. So now, I'm going to work with this number right here. And I'm using the sum of the first 40 numbers and the a value I figured out. I'm going to try and prove that d is 1.5. So, using s of n equals n times 2a plus n minus 1 d. I should make these square in brackets all over 2. Start plunking in my numbers. I know that s of 40 is 1250 equals n. Well, we're looking at 40 numbers, so I'm going to put 40 in for n. 2 times a is 2, plus n minus 1, n is going to be 40, minus 1, and we'll try 1.5 for d, all divided by 2. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get that 2 off the bottom so I don't have to keep it hauling around with me everywhere. Divide that by 2, divide that by 2, and I have 20. It's gone. So let's start putting the numbers together on the inside. 1250 equals 20 times 2 times 2 is 4, plus 40 minus 1 is 35. I'm sorry, 40 minus 1 is 39. 39 times 1.5 gives me 58.5. Now I end up with 20 times 62.5. 20 times 62.5, would you look at that? 1,250. So I've shown that it works in both equations. So that must mean my d is 1.5. Now there's probably other ways to do it. This is just how I've done it. I hope that answers your question.